Hey, Bruce Neewer here, your Boomer Consumer. Today we're looking at the Neewer Gimbal, the 3-axis handheld stabilizer for your smartphone. And as a disclaimer, this was sent to me at no cost by Neewer. However, all opinions are my own and no one has reviewed this video prior to posting. If you're ultimately interested in this gimbal, my Amazon affiliate link is down below. And right now you can pick one of these up for around $80 off of Amazon. So the idea of a gimbal, of course, is to get smooth, stable video when you're out shooting with your phone, your camera, to get those really nice smooth shots. Someone likes to get that motion sickness, that real super shaky video. That's the whole idea of this thing. Now, with this companion app, the Gimbal Pro software, really, you can do a lot of amazing things with this gimbal. Let's go over some of the features of this phone. First, it weighs about 1 pound. It has a ½ pound payload on there. Supports phones up to 6 inches in length. Now, I put my Samsung Galaxy 8 Plus on there. It's a bit chonky. You could hear the motor strain, but it did work. It did keep the phone stabilized. It has a micro USB port for charging the gimbal. And then on the back of the gimbal, there's a cover on here and a USB port on there that you can charge your phone if you're not get that great a battery life with your phone at the same time that you're using the gimbal. And that's a really, really nice feature. It's adjustable to take both horizontal and vertical video. If you're into vertical video, then this would be ideal for you. With the Gimbal Pro app, you can do things such as face detection. You can do manual zoom, which is digital zoom on there, and you can do time lapses and take panorama pictures and video as well. So there you have that with the app, which is called the Gimbal Pro software. It's not made by Neewer, it's made by another company. We'll talk about the software in just a few minutes. Well, let's talk about unboxing the gimbal for just a moment. First off, I think Neewer did a really, really good job with that. When you open up the box, you're going to be presented a thank you note from Neewer. Then you're going to get a user manual that's in English. It's kind of on the small side. We'll talk about that towards the end of the video. There's a second manual in my box anyway, in another language. Then you have the USB cable with a small string attached to it. And finally, you're going to take out the gimbal itself, and that it's pretty much everything that comes in the box. The gimbal itself has manual controls on here, so you can actually have this thumb joystick on here. And what that will do is it allows you to, that's your pan, and it pans quite a ways as well. So we can pan left and right with it, which is what we're doing right now. And then you can tilt up and down. There we go. So you have tilt on there. The idea, of course, is again to keep it all stabilized. Now I'm actually using this with the built-in camera app of the iPhone. On here you'll see some lights on here. This shows your battery strength on here. Now I've been using this all day long, and I've had it here in the office for a couple weeks. I've been playing around with it for about a week and still have pretty much a full charge on it. There are 3 different modes for this gimbal. The first one is the all following mode, okay? So that gives you your tilt, roll, pan. Then you have your pan following mode, which basically your tilt and roll is locked, and then an all locking mode where the camera stays in the current orientation. Okay, so I took this out, give you a little bit of demo video. I'm gonna tell you right now, my yard is super uneven and rough in certain parts, but I took a couple shots of walking around the backyard and then kind of a little bit of vlogging so you can see again. If I wouldn't have had this gimbal, it would have been super shaky video, but have a look. Okay, so this is a test as if you were using it in a vlogging scenario. And it's pretty much just using the built-in camera app that comes with the iPhone 8. And it's a nice, peaceful Saturday afternoon here around the house. But anyhow, this hopefully gives you an idea of how smooth this is in a vlogging scenario, just walking around. So yeah, it appears to be, at least on the screen that I see. So we'll check this out and go back to the office and back to the rest of the video. So the Gimbal Pro software really isn't that good in my opinion. I really wish that Neewer maybe made their own application for this. Certain things were kind of wonky on my iPhone. It kept telling me to access all the features, unlock the screen, but no information how to do that. Maybe if you know what it's referring to, please let me know in the comments down below. The screen, as far as I know, was unlocked and all the features seemed to work on it. So I'm not sure what that was about. Also, the video quality isn't that great with the application, so I wasn't real pleased about that. It by default starts out at 720p, and of course you got to dig into the settings and you can get up to 4K video. So we have that. The face tracking and object tracking really doesn't work all that well, and I found that the manual zoom control was hit or miss. And also the manual zoom control doesn't really work with the gimbal unless you're running the app. I think for most of us, getting just stable, smooth video is the whole purpose of the gimbal. I mean, you can see how fluid it works. It definitely is going to keep your video pretty doggone level. I recommend using this with your standard camera application because I think that's going to meet the needs of the majority of people who are going to buy this gimbal. So the pros are of this gimbal, one, it is inexpensive at $80 is certainly there's plenty out there that cost way more money. I found it very easy to set this gimbal up. It's just a matter of turning a thumb screw up here and sliding this bar around until the phone was basically pretty level. This on the iPhone 8. If you got a really chunky phone, it's probably not going to be that effective, this slider bar here. All in all, very easy to use. The cons are the Gimbal Pro software works sort of kind of. I think the video quality is not that great out of it, so that is definitely a con. The user manual could stand to have some better print on it. Now, I will admit I'm older, my vision is not that great, but it is corrected, and I still found myself having to use a magnifying glass in order to see the some of the instructions on the manual. So it's that small, folks. It is microscopic. So it's a nice piece of gear. It feels nice and solid in your hand, not super heavy. It's not going to wear you out after a long day. It works pretty much as advertised. Do wish they improved the software or came out with their own, but I think for the price, you can't really beat this gimbal. Bruce Naylor, the Boomer Zoomer, be interested in your comments down below. Would you consider a gimbal for your smartphone? Let me know. Bruce Naylor, have a good one. We'll see you in the next video.